my story, I have lived on Maui for 3 years, and it was kind of a reward for living in 26 years in Alaska. And the last year I lived in Alaska in 2018, I had my fourth knee surgery in September. And when I came to, the doctor told me that I didn't have an ACL, that I didn't have any scar tissue left, but there was also no cartilage. So there was literally nothing but bone on bone. And I'm allergic to all opioids. So I spent 6 weeks in bed, 24 hours a day, 20 minutes on and 20 minutes off of an ice machine, just praying for God to take away my pain. And we decided, because we lived in the parts of the country that were 45 below zero for months at a time. I just said, I need to get out of here. It's too cold for me living on the ice machine and being at 45 below zero. So my husband and I decided to sell our property. We had a bed and breakfast, and we sold and moved to Maui in May of 2019. And I was excited. Thank you, Bob Campbell. And I was excited to get to walk on the beach and be warm all the time. And I was thinking that being able to be out there, it would be really good for my knee, and I would be able to enjoy life more, because I started walking with a cane, and I actually had to learn how to walk again. And it was really a challenge, because when you have nothing holding your knee together, the bones will just separate and catch under one another. So I couldn't do it. I prayed to God every day, just take the pain away. If I have to live with a cane, I will live with a cane. And in 2019, November, my beautiful, beautiful friend, Kathleen Nichols, who many of you guys know that are on this call, from these calls, she introduced me to the patch. And she said, babe, just try this. My friend Marcy and Sean and Mariah, we all are doing it. I said, okay, what can it hurt? So there was a spot on my knee that the doctor told me I'll never have it pain-free. And I hadn't been able to touch it since the surgery. So we're talking about 9 months, 10 months. And I put the patch there for the first time. And 3 hours later, I just started bawling, because I realized the pain had started to recede. Wow. And I could actually touch my knee. So 6 weeks later, I quit walking with the cane, and I was 56 years old, and I was just praising God. And that was then when I went to the first Lifewave convention, and I met Peter and Marcy and Jan. And and we danced, and I danced for the first time in 3 years. And so that was literally almost ago now that I got my first patch. And I play golf 1 day a week, which I didn't know how to play even until 2021. And I work out at the gym 4 days a week. So I have been blessed to get to use this gift that David Schmidt actually brought down and channeled and brought here to share with us. And what an amazing gift it is. It's amazing, because when I moved to Hawaii, I thought I was going to burn all the time. And I'm browner than I've ever been in my life. And one of the things that I found out is that when you use the X39, it actually supports your skin and you don't get sunburned. And so that was really amazing for me. My hair is the longest it has ever been in my life. And when I put it down, it's almost to my waist now. It was, I think it's grown about 9 inches in the 3 years that I've been on Lifewave. So my sleep is better. And that was something that I used to, I would wake up, I'd go to bed anywhere between 9 and 11 at night, and I would wake up between 1 and 2 every single day, and I would be up for the rest of the time, and I'm just being in pain. And I sleep a good 6 to 8 hours a night now. And that's one of the greatest gifts of all, because when you are in pain, my pain was a 10 plus on the pain scale. So when you are in pain, you need sleep so that you can heal your body. The body goes through homeostasis. And I was one of the things that really surprised me, and looking back in retrospect, it took me until about 3.5 months, 4 months on the patch, that I realized how depressed I had become. I was horribly depressed, and I put on a really good facade, and my friends didn't know it, but my husband knew it. And I know that there are so many of you out there in the same exact spot that I was in. And my whole goal is to literally lift people up. And by sharing my story, and Peter's seen me recently, and we've walked and laughed and have talked about all of these amazing things that patches can do for us. But really, get on it, do it.